Here on the scale of the issue, each electric vehicle battery for a heavy-duty truck weighs 8,000 pounds, and you need at least 2 of them. So we're talking the weight of, 4 or 5 cars. And my friends and peers in the industry nationwide who have tried to make efforts to put in, say, hey, I'm going to convert a dozen forklifts to electric, or I want to tee up a facility for 30 electric trucks. There's no power. The utilities come back, the cities come back and say, is this some kind of joke? One friend tried to put in Illinois a facility, tee it up for 30 trucks electrification. The city came back and said, this is some kind of joke. You're asking for more draw than the entire city requires.
Wow.
And just to give you an idea, 30, 50 trucks, that's like a 5-6 megawatt application. The factory that makes the trucks is a 2 megawatt factory.
I don't know about all the megawatt shit, but that was trippy.
It takes more bandwidth to actually run the vehicles than it is to build them. That's what it seems like.
He just said to power 30 trucks, it would take more energy than to power the entire city.
That's wild.
That's pretty bold. The bold and the beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, see what this broad's got to say.
Considering getting a Tesla, watch this video. Or if you have a Tesla, watch this video. So I got my car in 2021. I have the Model 3. I started having connectivity issues, and it took me 3 months to get my car in the shop and checked out. After the first time of going to the shop, they didn't do anything. They didn't fix anything. They sent me back with my car home. It took me 3 more months to get my car in the shop. Fast forward, I thought that my battery kept just going down and down and down, and I was always at the charger. Until one day, when my car just wouldn't charge. So I booked an appointment like you're supposed to do, and then they pushed it back. 2 more weeks! So I just figured maybe it's my charger at home and I should go to a supercharger. Go to the supercharger, it still is not charging. Now I've realized it's the battery.
So that's a problem. You could get an electric car, but what if it doesn't charge?
Yeah, I don't think they're there yet, man. Well, luckily for all these poor suckers, no offense, if you have a electric vehicle, but it's like a bunch of test dummies for it, dude. I'd be pretty hot because she said she only had 10,000 miles on this car, and they want her to get a new battery, 15 racks. It's like, what?
No.
Well, she's probably rich. Everyone's
I only have
rich.
10,000 miles on my car. It's pretty much brand new. So I drive to one shop and they tell me they can't fix the problem there, to go to this other shop. So I go and they tell me the battery needs to be replaced. But they were supposed to have ordered it 2 weeks prior. They never did. So I left my car at the shop where they told me they ordered the battery. I did not see my car until a month later, which they couldn't even clean it. They gave me back so dirty I had to go immediately to a car wash. And I'm pretty sure it's still having issues. It's like they didn't even check the battery out to make sure this one was good. But that's not the only thing. It's now squeaking.
You see the ring on her finger, right?
No, it's on the wrong finger, man. It's on the wrong finger, man.
But I'd say only the rich could afford electric cars.
Yeah, for real.
Squeaking noises. And it's driving me insane. Because weren't they supposed to check everything out in the entire month? Oh, and a week that they had the car? So I book another appointment. That now just got pushed back another 3 weeks. Thank God it's under warranty, but I'm pretty sure this is a lemon car.
Yeah, it seems like it takes a year to fix one problem with an electric car. So, I mean, listen, man, I don't think we have the infrastructure just yet to really deal with electric cars, right? To find a charging station, in order to get the full charge of your car. And it's like a whole hassle when you could just buy gas and store gas and, fill your gas car up. For electric car, it takes you hours to fill.
No, dude, they don't make any sense to me. I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah, and this guy talks about how Hertz, who's originally trying to buy a bunch of electric cars to appeal to the consumers, are not getting rid of the electric cars because they end up being, I guess, lemons for the company.
Announced that they are ditching nearly 20,000 EVs in favor of gasoline-powered cars. Now, a couple of years ago, Hertz made the announcement that they were buying 100,000 Teslas to bolster its EV fleet. Turns out it wasn't all that many, but they did buy a pretty amazing amount of EVs because they thought it was going to be the next wave in rental cars. Now, what they're selling isn't every single EV they own, but it is about 1/3 of their global EV fleet, which is what they said in a filing to the SEC, or Security Exchange Commission. What was the reason for Hertz unloading all of these EVs? Well, it's high collision and damage expenses that they did not foresee when they bolstered the EV fleet a couple of years ago. Now, this doesn't mean that Hertz has completely given up on EVs, as I said, because they still have EVs and they still have plans to buy other EVs. But the fact that they are getting rid of 20,000 for gasoline-powered cars does mean that their priorities are shifting and that they do believe that EVs are not the largest part of their future anymore. My question to you guys...
Electric cars are not the future. At least that's what Hertz believes, right? I mean, hey, if you want to rent a car, don't go to Hertz if you want an EV car. And I'm guessing Turo is going to follow the same. If people are like renting their cars on Turo and someone smashes their car, it's like really expensive to fix it. So
I don't think it. I don't. They don't make any sense. All I hear is bad news about them. I don't hear anything positive about them.
yeah, I don't know. If you guys own an electric car, let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a different experience, but from what it looks like, if you crash the car, it's like a complete loss, no matter how much damage your car sustains. But let's let him finish.
When you are renting a car, when you're going on vacation or any other reason for renting a car, would you look to get an EV? Does it make sense for you? Or would you rather have a more traditional ICE or internal combustion car for general and ease of use purposes?
The range is a straight up fucking lie. Like, I bought the Tesla Model 3 Long Range Edition. I do not get anywhere close to the advertised range, and I am not a lead foot driver. So they like to say that the range is 358 miles. Yeah, there's not a fucking chance. Maybe if I charged it to 100%, it would be 300 miles. The thing is that you're not really supposed to charge it over 80%, and you can't run it to 0. So maybe if I went from 0 all the way to 100, I could get 358, but you can't do that. That's not reasonable. The other thing is that this glass ceiling stuff is really cool, but it also forms a greenhouse effect in the car. And on really hot days, yeah, it sucks. And that's why I actually have a mask back there that I can put on it.
I thought he was about to point to like a bunch of plants, and he was going to be like, "That's why I have my garden in my back seat." Sorry,
Front of the car so that it's not that shitty when I get in, because it'll get 90 degrees and this car will go crazy. Like, it'll be like an oven in here. The last gripe, and the most important one, is charging. So gas in California is notoriously expensive. So you would think, oh, well, the good thing, you just get to use electricity. And that's great. It really is, actually. You do wind up saving, except for the fact that it changes based on time, and all superchargers.
All right, it says from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. It's 21 cents per some shit kilowatt, I guess. And then it goes all the way up if you were to go at like prime time, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So basically the best hours in the day where people are doing stuff. That's when it's cost the most. It's more than double.
Yeah.
More than double.
And this is idle fees up to $1 a minute?
Idle fees. What in the Oh, I'm getting pissed. Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is imagine like if you go to a gas station at different times of the hour, they charge different prices.
I mean, I guess that does happen, but I don't think it's on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
It's like a daily thing. It's like
Like you got to the gas
I
station
mean,
late.
I mean,
so-
they do have to change it at some point
At
in the
some
day,
point,
though.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine getting there, it says
What, double?
$3, and then 10 seconds later, you got to put it in. It's $3.50. That's trippy shit, man. Yeah, they don't be pulling that shit at gas stations. Not that I know of. At least not by the hour. That's for sure.
Are like this. The only good time to go is 12 to 4 a.m. If you can get in line
When no
at
one's there.
11 and wait 22 cars worth of charging, all taking their sweet goddamn time, then yeah, you could fill up for about $16. But never in my life, and the dealers will tell you, oh yeah, it's 15 minutes at a supercharger. That is never true, ever. That has never been true, ever. In fact, that 15-minute number actually comes from the fact that if you are sitting by yourself at a stall and there are no cars on either side of it. So like, for example, here I am, that space is empty, so that's good. So me and this person are probably getting good charging. But all those cars over there, they aren't getting optimal charging right now, so they're going to be there for a little longer.
Would you buy an electric car? It'll
Damn, man, you gotta get crafty with those cars, dude. You gotta like schedule. You gotta schedule some shit out, dude.
You're fighting with someone
Yeah,
they park next to you. Like, hey,
legit,
bro, I need to be
legit.
out here in 20 minutes. If you park next to me, it's going to cost me 50 minutes to fucking leave.
Forget all that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really reconsidering buying a Tesla. I wanted a Tesla because it does a bunch of cool shit. Like, if you want to park your car, you can, like, park it for itself. That
Yeah,
kind
it
of
sounds
thing.
cool.
But, yeah, let's just get some juice in your car to go.
I don't even think you could push that thing, man. Like if the car breaks down, can you push that thing? The dude in the beginning said they weigh like 8,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Or ever buy an electric car, it's like sitting in the microwave. Listen, I know it's fun driving an electric car, but they emit so much radiation and I don't want to fry my body with all that radiation. Electric cars, they emit so much EMF. I've been hearing this the last month, that so many people that sit in an electric car get a headache after it. So it's just another thing that's killing you slowly.
The battery
Tesla
packs
headache.
alone for the
I wonder if that's really true, because you know on the iPhone, if you go and look at your settings, it actually tells you how much radiation it's
know.
putting out, and technically you're supposed to have it more than like I think more than a foot away from you.
Yeah, they said don't sleep next to it.
Legit.
Yeah, but
So-
you're inside the Tesla,
So imagine the Tesla.
Nah.
I'm cool on riding Teslas, man. I'm straight, dude.
Nah, it's trash.
I'm good.
vehicles with current inflation are right now at $26,000 plus for a battery pack change. And you have to change these battery packs out every 2 to 3 years or they burn out, quit working, or won't hold a charge any longer.
How is that saving money?
Yo, I like the lie for electric car companies. You're gonna save money. Nah, it's gonna cost you more. It's gonna take you 15 minutes to charge. Nah.
That makes no sense.
No.
That literally makes zero sense.
They're not, these electric cars, 3, are not greener. People think driving this thing means that they're green and they're helping the environment. No, in fact, you are not. In fact, you are burning 4 times as much coal to 1 gallon of 1 tank of gas. If you took the equivalent amount of coal it would take to drive a car 400 miles and gas, it would take 4 times as much coal.
Mr. Chairman, I simply want to
I wonder how accurate that is.
I don't know. I've never measured how much coal my car burns.
The only thing I know about coal is is making a barbecue. That's about it.
No.
Like I never like do it in the back of a train. Like never did that.
You need 10 barbecue grills
What does this one say?
to power your fucking electric car. But this video is talking about something that happened in Congress, something that was exposed in front of a committee. So let's see what this guy says about some of the legislation they're trying to pass for electric car vehicles to be the future and the mandate for them to be the only cars produced in these states.
implore you and your Democratic colleagues to reconsider the policies that you've been pursuing. On the one hand, you want to mandate not only electric cars, but industrial scale backup batteries for wind and solar farms, all in the name of saving the planet. Yet on the other hand, you want to radically restrict mining, also in the name of saving the planet. Well, you can't do both. You've been moderately successful at mandating electric cars. The California bureaucrats have just imposed such a mandate on Californians over the next decade. About 3% of vehicle sales are now electric, so congratulations, only 97% more to go.
Losers.
And we don't need to get into a discussion today about where you think the electricity for your electric cars is going to come from. About 80% of our electricity still comes from the very fossil fuels that you're waging war against, and you're creating devastating shortages by doing that. We'll save that for another day. But let's just look at the mining requirements. In order to meet your electric car mandates, specifically a 6-fold increase in demand over the next decade, we're going to need 384 additional graphite, lithium, nickel, and cobalt mines by 2035, according to industry forecasts.
This is so funny. So they're trying to say, all right, to save the environment, we need to go electric. But now this guy's pretty much saying, but in order to go electric, we need to build more mines, which is essentially a dirty way, you know what I'm saying, to, do something clean. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, it's like we want to preserve the planet, but now in order to preserve the planet, we got to dig more mines.
No, what it is it gets deeper than that. There's free electricity, right? Tesla, Nikola Tesla, okay? You know the light bulb that's been on for over 100 years? You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me we can't get 100 miles to a gallon of gas. You're telling me that. We can't do that. Liar!
Probably with hybrid or something.
I want electric cars to be good. I do. I'd like to just be able to plug my car in. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be that simple.
No.
So I think it's a bunch of hocus pocus.
I think electric motorcycles might be all right because you don't ride your bike as much. And if you could charge it up in your crib. But like for a whole car that you need to get back and forth to work, to deal with a lot of these issues is just going to be.
We didn't even master the hybrid yet, and they want to go all the way full blown electric. So that's all I'm saying.
Expensive recycling mandates will only reduce this number to 336 new mines that we're going to need. In fact, according to the International Energy Agency, an electric car requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a comparable internal combustion vehicle, 6 times the mining to produce a comparable car. And of course, copper is a critical component in this technology, and copper is what you're trying to shut down in the matter before us today. If it is your contention that the mining required to produce electric cars is a threat to the environment, then you are also admitting that the electric cars that require it are a threat to the environment. Can't you see how foolish and self-destructive and absurdly contradictory these policies have become? And can't you see yet the damage that you're doing not only to the environment, but to people's lives? As you make it harder and harder to mine the components to meet your mandates, the expense of those materials rises dramatically. We're already seeing that at the gas pump and in our utility bills. And it's not just electricity, it's everything these minerals could be used for if they were more efficiently applied. When something is scarce, it becomes expensive. You're making all of the things that we depend upon for our quality of life more scarce and therefore more expensive. You're fixated on a 1-degree rise of global temperatures over the next century, but you couldn't care less that you're making it financially impossible for many people to heat their homes in sub-freezing winters. Europe's now reverting to burning wood to survive this winter.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go electric, there's definitely some heavy trade-offs. You know, it's definitely not something that you just do at no cost.
That dude just went deep, man. That was like conspiracy level deep.
Yeah, and that's the government talking to the government.
It's beautiful. I love it.
384 miles of range, 100% charge. And we're stopped from traffic a little way into the drive with 23% remaining now. All right, we can see we're now at the range where we should have arrived, but instead we still have 67 miles to go. Great job on the range, Tesla. All right, just arrived with 111 miles. Yeah, it says that, let's see, 71 miles was driving and 33 miles was the elevation. Going uphill cost 90 miles and going downhill saved. You see how it always has this little break? It's just like, yeah, 395 miles of range, and somehow we ended up with 111, even though we only went 160. Math is not mathing. Even with the 104 miles more than estimated consumed, that still doesn't quite make sense.
You're thinking about renting.
It's like so when they say you have a 300-mile range in your car, I guess the miles is like the unit of like.
You got 150. You got like half that.
Nah.
No, and the worst part is this is brand new cars. So like, you know how your phone over like you have a phone for a year, 2 years. After that, it's fucked. The battery's screwed. This is happening to these cars within the first year.
Yeah.
And you're driving it. Like, I don't drive my iPhone, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, you're not putting that much, I don't know how they're going to make that work. I don't know,
But at least you could
man.
charge your iPhone everywhere.
Yeah.
Your electric car, you got fine.
No, you know what they're going to have? They're going to have portable chargers for the Teslas where you just throw it on a roof like a bike rack.
That'd be nice.
That'd be dope.
But that also might be 3,000 pounds
It would be a
above
pain,
your head.
Yeah, it'd be a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They need to make electric cars where there's solar, right? Where it's like it could charge itself in the sun.
You know, they actually, this one's trippy. You could look this one up. It's in like Zimbabwe or somewhere in Africa. Black dude, he came up with, oh man, this is some trippy shit. But he came up with a generator that sucks like the ether. Like, you know, there's energy. Like there, you could get static electricity, lightning. You know, there's electricity in the air. So he figured out a way to suck that into a generator. No battery on the generator. So it just sucks in energy from the air and can light up a house. So they were able to light up 10 houses, full-blown electricity, all the houses.
Over
with,
solar
with one no, not solar, from the air, because there's electricity in the air.
Yeah.
So they said, fuck it, let's do the same thing, but with a small car. They did it with a small car. Guess what? You can't patent the car. because it defies the laws of physics. Yeah.
What about the technology though?
I don't know, but it's
So-
trippy. You could look this shit up, man. Some guy in Zimbabwe. Anyways,
Anyway, this girl here,
upward and onward.
she actually, this video is pretty good. She talks about how she got stuck with her electric car when she's trying to go to the airport, which is probably not the best time to get it stuck trying to charge her electric car. Let's see what she got to say.
Electric car? Don't. Oh, Alex, you should probably manage your mileage better. I'm literally at a charging station, but apparently I'm not authorized to charge. Oh, and I should have
Wait,
been.
hold on. So you need permission to charge your car. That's another thing, right? It's like, you can't just charge your car. The charging station needs to give you permission. So if you ride to a charging station and your car's almost dead and you don't have the magic password,
I'll stick with my gasoline,
you're
bro.
screwed.
I'll stick with my coal.
Airport probably an hour and a half ago to catch my flight. Single-handedly the dumbest way to miss a flight. I am now sitting here waiting for a tow truck to pick me up to take me to another goddamn charging station.
Cobalt-powered batteries.
Like she can't return the car unless it's partially charged. Because you know, like when you rent a car, you gotta like return it.
You
with
gotta
fuel.
fill up the gas,
right?
yeah.
So now you need to spend 3 hours before you can even return your car.
I would pay the penalty fee. I'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah, like-
Sit in an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss my flight. Like tow the car there and just charge me for how much you guys are gonna.
No, I'm cool on that.
For the expense of charging the car, it's fine.
Worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but
Yeah.
as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strongman. You're out of time. Thanks for being here.
That guy just went totally bananas. Oh my God.
I don't know if you ever seen this guy before. I'm trying to remember his name, but he's like a political commentator. He also talks about like a lot of the misnomers that we're like pleading for in the public to change policy. This is clearly one of them. And I don't know. My dad drives a Tesla Model S. I'm gonna ask him if he's like struggling with his car in the winter now that it's like cold in New Jersey and the Northeast. But I owned an electric car before. Like I said in the last video, I owned an electric car that was like back before electric cars were as popular as they are. And that bitch only got like 100 miles on a full charge.
Yeah,
So
fuck
it was
all
like
that.
impossible. So like it just seems now that they're saying they get 300 miles,
Nah.
but maybe they still only get 100 miles
Nah,
in actual effect.
No, my godfather owns one. They don't get the range. They don't get it. They don't get it.
No.
I don't get it.
You turn the heat on, it reduces it by 40 miles.
As much as I'd like to, I want to like them. I want to, but I don't know. The microwave, driving around in the microwave doesn't sound good.
Drive around in the microwave.
You have to charge it all the time. I don't like that. Nah, I'm cool, man.
And you got no place to charge it. And there's even other clips I didn't include in this, but it talked about like how it's less efficient in the winter, so like it takes longer to charge and it doesn't hold the charge. There's this one clip about this guy talking
Or
about.
if it's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need ideal weather.
Perfect
For
weather.
electric car.
So California,
Yeah.
you gotta live in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you have electric cars? Do you have a different experience than we're having here? There's just some videos to share. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my boy Jack Morgan's channel. I'll put his handle inside the
What's
link.
up?
And we'll talk to you guys later, man.
How you doing?